is back. Well, welcome back. Corey is at the Arizona Fine Art Expo near Scottsdale and Jomax.
Yeah, up in North Scottsdale area. Hey, bud.
Hey, good morning, you guys. I love this place. I love watching artists at work, and you know, I don't have that ability. I'm always fascinated to see how it goes from the brain to the fingers and then out onto the canvas or the metal or into the sculpture. It's just terrific. And we've got a living example of that kind of talent. John Burrow is with us. Thanks for getting up early, friend.
You're welcome.
Pride of Oxford, Massachusetts. That'd be the Oxford High Panthers.
Pirates.
I knew it was a P. But anyway, let's step over this way with me, and we'll let Tom get a nice close look at this beautiful acrylic work. The depth on these paintings is so impressive. I don't know what your paint bill is, but there's an awful lot of paint on these canvases. How do you describe your work to people?
Well, it's very contemporary impressionistic, and I draw it out first, put a coat of flat acrylic paint on it, and then I use a palette knife and my fingers and get in there and really start gooping away with some of the shapes so that it gets more dimension and pops off the surface. It seems to be more contemporary and a little bit unique that way, which really I enjoy.
Yeah.
When you get these lights on it and it shows the shadows, then it's quite amazing.
I know. I'm glad that you mentioned that. And additionally, you know, I find that children especially, they really love art that has a little bit of texture, as you say, to it. And they can, if they can run their fingers over it, it really makes an impression on them, pardon the pun. But as we kind of roll down the way here, I see a lot of desert scenes. I also see some country scenes. What inspires you?
Well, first of all, the gardens have inspired me because of my parents and the yard that we had in Massachusetts. But then I got out west and I decided, wow, I got to live here. This place is awesome.
Yeah.
I grew up thinking Wile E. Coyote in the desert. I don't want to live there. And I started hiking around here, and holy cow, this place is amazing.
Yeah.
So the
it's
colors,
its own rugged sort of beauty,
Yeah,
isn't it? And,
yeah.
and you're right, so many spring colors especially.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a metal print section here.
Wow, you
These
are
all
prolific.
These are all from previous paintings that I've produced in the past that are smaller. Yeah.
They're really lovely. And I noticed there's different finish on these. Are these printed on metal or painted on metal?
They're on an aluminum panel, and they're baked on so that they're waterproof and quite durable for patio areas and washrooms and things like this. This is a painting I'm working on right now that's from around here near Brown's Ranch, and I actually sketched this out the other day, and now I'm going back and laying in my first color of, you know, my first coat of colors, and then after that I'll go ahead and put some thicker paint onto that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as you continue painting here, everybody should know that you and all of your artist friends are on site and actually creating your art while people watch it happen. It's so unique. I mean, we can all go to a museum or a gallery and marvel and enjoy paintings that are already hung, but to see how it happens, it makes it even more special for the buyer, doesn't it?
It does. You know, last year there was this older gentleman here with his grandson, and he just brought joy into that little kid's heart. He came over and I gave him a brush, and he put some strokes down on my canvas, and I left him there and actually sold the painting that way.
Oh, it's the best.
The grandpa come over to me after, and he puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Yeah, man, thank you so much. I'm sure I made both of their day."
That is great. Well, John, thanks. And people can come watch you every morning painting for the next several weeks. What's your website, by the way?
It's john@burrowfineart.com.
Very good. All right, John, thanks for sharing your talent with us. We've got more coming your way from the Fine Art Expo. Lots more to see, and we'll show it to you coming up in just a few minutes, you two.
Of paintings. Corey's checking out some incredible art at the Arizona Fine Art Expo. Good morning once again, Cor. Some cool stuff there behind you.
It's so fun. Well, behind me, you're looking at what are probably the largest watercolor paintings that you'll ever see displayed. It's an inventive and new process. And Peter Freischlag is with us. You are the man behind not just the beautiful art, but behind this exciting new process of preserving watercolors for display. And for instance, your beautiful giraffe here. If you were to put this under glass, it would. What wall could hold it?
You
right?
really couldn't glass it. You'd have to plexi it. And I have pieces that are this size in the past that have been plexiglass, but to take it and put it in a situation where you don't have to do glass mats and frames is new and exciting, and it's been really, really well received.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, we'll talk about that process in a moment, but let's talk about your beautiful art and what inspires you. I see Africa or India. I see the Great Southwest. I see all kinds of animals that you wouldn't find around here, but you seem like you're all over America, at least, and perhaps the world. What inspires you?
Well, the challenge is to paint in my soul what I want to paint, and then you have to balance that fine line between what I want to paint and what people want to see. So we're always walking that, and it's really, my watercolors are about color and feel. And if I can get you to smile and have one feeling coming away from my art, and I did my job.
Oh, that is, well, it's lovely to hear you thinking about your buyers and those who will enjoy your art ahead of time. That is great. And we're here up close. I'm feeling this paper. It's beautiful. And I love watercolor. My mother was a watercolorist as well. And so this is kind of a familiar world to me. How do you describe your process? Tell me about this paper, because it's special as well.
Well, the paper is imported from France. It comes on big rolls and then cut to size, mounted to a handmade wood panel, and then you paint. And the butterfly, for example, will be eventually archivally mounted back on that wood panel, and then it'll get 2 coats of a beeswax resin.
Yeah, let's talk about that resin, and here it is.
Yeah, so the beeswax resin, they've used beeswax for centuries to cure art and preserve things, but recently they came out with a product that is archival and won't yellow over time.
How's that applied to?
So
is just a brush or a
The
roller?
first coat goes on by hand, or you'll make a mess.
Really?
You'll make
Wow.
a total mess. The second coat goes on with a fine staining cloth, about 36 hours between. So the product has revolutionized the whole watercolor world. And I can just go bigger and bigger and bigger. So
How exciting. That must have just, as you say, opened up a very exciting new world for you. Well, everyone can come see Peter's work. It's Peter Freischlag, and you've got a beautiful big space here at the Arizona Arizona Fine Art Expo. What's your website? How can people see your work otherwise?
just go to Peter Freischlag, both on Instagram or on Facebook, or my website. So Big Moose Studios will get you there too.
Oh, very good. That's easier for me than Freischlag. Big Moose Studios, and there's so much to see down here. And we're running through the 27th, I believe. Yeah, so come see us. Just come up Scottsdale Road, and you'll see the big tent right there near McDonald's Ranch. Anyway, that'll do it for the moment. We'll catch you two in just a little bit from someplace else.
So much talent in one area, isn't it?
Yeah.